everyone. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. Our current U.S. administration set the goal of reducing national homelessness by 25%. In Los Angeles, Mayor Karen Bass declared a state of emergency on her first day in office. The city of LA recently received a big allocation of funds to continue the efforts of council districts and organizations that help the homeless.
Today, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development is announcing the first set of communities to receive grants and vouchers to address unsheltered and rural homelessness, and we are here to celebrate the Los Angeles City and County Continuum of Care's award of $60 million under this very special set of resources. This funding initiative is a first-of-its-kind package of resources that includes both grants and special housing vouchers to help communities provide housing and supportive services to people in unsheltered settings and people experiencing homelessness in rural areas.
I was very excited when President Biden decided that homelessness was going to be a key strategy with All In, and that the goal is to reduce homelessness by 25% in the country. And so my appeal to the administration is just come to LA. If we are able to significantly reduce homelessness in Los Angeles, we can absolutely contribute to the national goal of reducing homelessness by 25%.
This kind of unity is what it's going to take for us to be able to get out of this crisis, for us to be able to talk about moments when people aren't able to get indoors and to be able to address those barriers effectively and quickly. I stood with many of these same people at the start of the homeless count and said, we are here because we are counting the number of people who are experiencing homelessness in the city of Los Angeles. But all this urgency won't mean anything unless we get federal dollars to be able to get us out of this crisis.
We know how this is difficult, exhausting, and at times traumatizing work, especially for those who are out on the streets and those outreach workers who are working on this each and every day. But we also know how rewarding it can be, and we know when we see it throughout the country that when communities and governments at all levels work together, we see positive results. And that's what we're seeing here today, too.
From 2013 until 2022, Eric Garcetti served as the 42nd mayor of Los Angeles. To honor his time in office and legacy, city officials, family, and friends gathered for the unveiling of his portrait by the artist Shepard Fairey. Complete with symbols representing some of his accomplishments, this portrait will now join those of the mayors that came before him. Check it out.
So we are so excited to be here today to celebrate the unveiling of the portrait of Los Angeles' 42nd mayor, Mayor Eric Garcetti.
3, 2, 1.
His portrait is going to be hung in the portrait gallery along with the 41 previous mayors, documenting our city's history of our mayors and our leadership. This portrait was done by the artist Shepard Fairey, and Shepard Fairey takes a very different approach than the other artists that have done the portraits here in the gallery. So this artist has taken into account the time and the issues and the challenges and the victories that this mayor has had during his tenure as mayor.
It's emotional to see it. Nobody likes to look at a picture themselves, or maybe a few people do, but for me, it's the stuff that's around it. It's the bridge, it's the raising the minimum wage, it's bringing transportation to airport, it's the Paralympics and Olympics, it's the Lucas Museum, these things that we fought for to invest in a better future. We know over time that the investments we make today pay off often 10 and 20 and 30 years down the line. I hope people will know that we gave everything we had to get through crisis, COVID, and that we tried to build the city of the future.
I've been friends with Mayor Garcetti since before he was running for mayor. Been an admirer of him for a long time. So when I was asked to work on this portrait, I thought, well, this is an honor, but I want to make sure that I capture what I think is really powerful about not only the way he looks and his vision, but what was important to him to accomplish while he was mayor. And then using stencils, traditional paint, painting, collage, screen printing. I blended the portraiture with things of mass transit, the 6th Street Bridge, raising the minimum wage, several accomplishments that I think are important, securing the 2028 Olympics, and all of that came together to create this portrait.
I had 2 dreams come true. One dream, I dreamt that I'd be mayor of this city, and I got to do it not only once, but 2 terms. And then when you become mayor, you dream one day you won't be mayor, and now that dream's come true too. So I'm enjoying having some time with my family and friends, doing some thinking, some reading, and so to be able to have that space and time, to be able to just be a person again and breathe has been a wonderful thing. I can't wait to continue to love this city and help this city, not here, but just as an everyday Angelino, the best title of all.
Who would have guessed a mountain lion would be the subject of songs and even a dedicated memorial? That is how much P22, known as LA's cat, touched the hearts of Angelinos. Council District 4 held a sold-out event to remember him and highlight the need to create a wildlife crossing. Check it out.
We were P22's host for so many years, and it's only fitting that Council District 4 hosts this memorial for our beloved king.
P22 was many things: our favorite celebrity neighbor, an occasional troublemaker, a beloved mascot for our city, but most of all, a magnificent and wild creature who reminded us that we are all part of a natural world so much greater than ourselves.
And for P22 to settle here in Griffith Park, he had to traverse the dangerous 405 freeway and the 101 freeway. Not all mountain lions make vehicle crossings safely.
Wildlife lovers are mourning the death of yet another iconic LA mountain lion, P81.
Take a look at the most recent mountain lion killed on a freeway. Officially, his name was P89.
I know when I was first approached by the idea of a wildlife crossing, the first image that popped into my mind was that of P22. And I know he inspired many of us who are working to make this wildlife crossing turn from a crazy idea into a reality.
Coexistence is peacefully sharing our living spaces with wildlife. P22, you taught me and many others how to coexist.
I am just so grateful that we got to live at the same time on this planet with that remarkable animal. And thank you for being here to both grieve together, but also celebrate the life of this incredible cat. And it's been this outpouring of support from around the world that I think has helped all of us get through this.
Mayor Karen Bass joins the Los Angeles Metro Board. The nonprofit Ciclavia announces its 2023 event schedule, and the Los Angeles Police Department releases its anti-human traffic operation results. These stories up next on City Beat.
The LA County Metropolitan Transportation Authority welcomed Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass as its newest board member. The 13-member Metro Board sets policy and operates transit services and programs throughout LA County's 88 cities and 16 municipal transit operators. Mayor Bass has prioritized a unified approach to addressing LA's homeless crisis, declaring a state of emergency on her first day in office. Her appointment is expected to be pivotal in helping Metro further initiatives connecting homeless individuals on bus and trains to supportive services. For more information about the Metro Board of Directors, visit metro.net. Local nonprofit organization Ciclavia has announced their 2023 event schedule, where LA streets are closed to traffic and become public parks. Starting February 26th with a 5-mile stretch of Sherman Way in the Valley, these 8 free family-friendly events run through December 3rd. Other locations include Mid-City Pico Union, South LA, Vermont Avenue and Leimert Park, Koreatown, Hollywood, North Hollywood, and Heart of LA. This year also includes 2 new events known as Cyclamini, a compact 1 to 2 mile neighborhood route that is more pedestrian-oriented. Over 1.8 million people have experienced Ciclavia since their founding in 2010, becoming the biggest open streets event in the United States. To view the full calendar, check out ciclavia.org. The Los Angeles Police Department held a press conference to release the results from a statewide operation focused on human trafficking. Operation Reclaim and Rebuild was held January 22nd to 28th, 2023 to find potential victims, arrest their exploiters, and investigate prostitution-related crimes. The operation is a partnership with LA County's Sheriff's Department, Regional Human Trafficking Task Force, and 82 fellow law enforcement agencies.
This operation resulted in the arrest of 116 individuals by LAPD investigators alone, and a total of 368 arrested by all the involved agencies.
The collaborative efforts of law enforcement, social services, and victim advocacy groups helped recover 131 victims of sexual exploitation. If you have any information on crimes related to human trafficking, call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or log on to lacrimestoppers.org.
February is African American Heritage Month, and across Los Angeles events are being held to commemorate it. Councilmember Curran Price from CD9 and members of his staff talked about the significance of this celebration for them and the resilience that made progress and historic change possible.
African Americans have made a big difference, whether it's been science, the arts, economic development, social services. We have really been able to achieve great pinnacles of success. Well, to me, it represents the resiliency of a people coming over here on slave ships and suffering from discrimination and Jim Crow. We have been able to survive the worst conditions, living conditions, economic, social conditions. So I think the fact that we have been able to thrive and survive demonstrates the resiliency that African Americans have. And so this time of year really helps us to understand that, appreciate it, and celebrate it.
It really focuses on the contributions that African Americans have played into our great city. I think it's important because without these great African Americans, we wouldn't be where we are today. From the first African American mayor, Tom Bradley, to Paul Williams, who's one of the greatest architects that this city has known and has built many buildings that still stand and survive today. So I think it's just one point in time where African Americans can be celebrated with all of the wonderful contributions that they have to uplift this beautiful city.
Well, I think it's also true that having a racially diverse staff helps bring perspectives that are so very important in the problem-solving process. Frequently one lens is not enough. And so it's important to recognize those individuals, recognize the success they've had as positive role models, and to tell our future generations that they can do it too.
African American Heritage Month is significant to me in my life personally because my father came to Los Angeles during the Watts riots, and at the height of civil unrest, he still felt safer to be here in the city of LA than to be back home. He came from the Midwest at a time when interracial marriage was socially unacceptable. So he came to Los Angeles because it was essentially life or death. Same for my mother and my grandmother. They also migrated here. I think about the time not long ago when my grandmother was not able to be served at a lunch counter, to now in her 94 years of life, to see the progression that we've made as a culture from President Obama's election to now our first African-American Black woman to serve as mayor of Los Angeles. I'm just really proud that she's able to see this moment in her lifetime. And I think that was the reason why I got into public service, to fight bigotry and to strive for equity so that no one else has to suffer the way that she did in her life.
Stick around to find out about some of the free events celebrating African American Heritage Month that you can attend in LA. Angelenos now have the chance to learn about African Americans who broke glass ceilings and held some of the most powerful government positions. From former President Barack Obama to our current mayor, Karen Bass, visitors at the At Your Service, A Legacy of Firsts exhibit will get a closer look at our country's history makers.
This is our African American Heritage Month Legacy exhibit. And what it's showing here is the contributions that African Americans have made to the city of Los Angeles and also to the country. One of the most exciting exhibits are of our first Black president, Barack Obama, and First Lady Michelle Obama. And we're really happy to have that part of the history shown here on the bridge in Los Angeles. In addition to that, we have Kamala Harris, who is our first woman vice president, and she's the first African-American/Asian vice president of the United States of America, and my forever boss, someone I worked for in the United States Senate. And I'm really proud to have her featured here, as well as other members of the California State Senate, California Legislature. And so this is a place that people can come to just review our history and get excited about our future. Somebody said today, this is Black History Month. No, it's Black Future Month. And you know, if you can see it, you can be it, and our children come to this space and understand some of the history that happened here. We have a part of the wall that says Legacy First, so you can see who broke that glass ceiling. And really, as you walk through this bridge, you might get some shards on you, because there are a whole bunch of glass ceilings that got busted to get to this point. So we're excited about today, our first day of Black History Month, and we look forward to folks visiting and seeing what has happened here in Los Angeles.
When you're having a whale of a time, it means you're having a lot of fun. That's exactly what the attendees of the 2023 Cabrillo Marine Aquarium Whale Fiesta had. Families and their kids could learn about marine wildlife and preservation, collect pins, and sign up for a whale watching boat trip. Check it out.
What we're enjoying is the Whale Fiesta. We've invited all the families in the area, everybody to come on out and learn about the ocean environment, learn about whales and other mammals, and particularly ocean sustainability.
We've been celebrating Whale Fiesta for over 50 years. It's basically a celebration of getting people to actively engage with the cetaceans that we have right off the coast here in Southern California. So it's an introduction to all the different animals that they might be able to see if they go whale watching on one of our whale watch boats.
Southern California is one of the best places to see whales anywhere in the world. We have a variety of whale species that are visiting our coastline throughout the year. We traditionally were thought of as a place to see gray whales while they migrate along the coast during the winter and early spring. But the rest of the year, summer and fall, is a great time to see humpback whales like the one behind me, as well as the largest whale in the world, the blue whale, which can be seen here feeding during the summer and fall months.
We have these opportunities on beautiful days like this to invite families out, and people are just happy and eager to be together, and also to be in environments where we can learn about things like how we affect the ocean, how we can protect the ocean, to learn about the mammals and the animals all around us.
It's really what our staff and our facility was meant to do in engaging so many people. So it's just a joy for us to be able to have our exhibitors and all of our guests returning here to the aquarium, as well as returning out on our whale watch boats. Visit us at cabrillomarineaquarium.org or cabrillowhalewatch.org, where you can find out specifically about becoming a volunteer with me.
A member of the Los Angeles City Council since 2017, Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez represents the residents of CD7. For 2023, she wants to make sure the line of communication with her constituents is seamless and that the needs of her community are well served. With many goals and projects underway, she is hopeful about what lies ahead. Take a look.
My goals for 2023 are no different than the goals that I set when I took office in 2017. And that is to make sure that we have a high-functioning city government that is responsive to the needs of the 7th Council District and the citizens of Los Angeles. It's critically important that we make sure that our service delivery is impeccable and timely, to making sure that we're getting those critical infrastructure investments, particularly in districts like mine, where we have seen long-standing shortages of those types of critical investments, making sure that we are doing everything that we need to do to create the very best environment for young families in my community and throughout the city of Los Angeles to enjoy the city. I'm very excited that this year we have projects that we had begun planning in my first term now coming to fruition. And so we're going to see a great deal more investments in our local parks. We've got a dog park and a huge community park in Sylmar that's about to be opening. We've got housing for veterans experiencing homelessness and families. So we see a lot of the projects that we had started incubating early in the last few years now coming to fruition, even with the COVID delays. So I'm very excited about some of the opportunities, the ribbon cuttings that we're going to be having in the 7th District. So in CD7, we are actually bringing in additional units of permanent supportive housing and interim housing solutions. Since taking office and through one of the most recent Project Home Key locations, we are now at our 500th units of housing, with 2 more slated to come online. So we're continuing to make progress in this area. We've launched a very successful RV pilot to accelerate the disposition of RVs and getting individuals placed. And so I'm currently embarking on an effort to make that a citywide solution. And I look forward to continuing to deliver more of those successes and programmatic results, not just in the 7th District, but across the city of Los Angeles. The Youth Ambassador Program is part of the comprehensive approach that we're taking to address homelessness. It's critical to recognize that the pipelines to homelessness can be derived in so many different ways, from individuals that are experiencing mental health to emancipated youth from the foster care system. And so making sure that we're addressing the needs of young people that are experiencing homelessness is critical, which is why I've worked with our Youth Development Department to come up with this Youth Ambassador Program that thankfully I'm really proud was successful in securing federal dollars with the help of Congressman Adam Schiff to make this program a reality here in the city of Los Angeles. So I want to invite the public to always reach out to my office. We are here to serve. You can call my office at 213-473-7007 or go to our website at monicarodriguez.org.
One of our country's most popular sports, baseball, didn't represent all Americans until recently. Through the Barriers Breakers exhibit, visitors can learn about the stars of the Negro Baseball Leagues and the evolution of racial justice through the lens of this classic sport. Let's hear the story.
This exhibit is from the Negro League Baseball Museum in Kansas City, Missouri. It celebrates African-American players who participated in the Negro Leagues because the opportunity from our Major League Baseball wasn't there for these players.
I'm a baseball fan. I grew up playing Little League Baseball in the city. I was in 2 leagues, one at Harvard Park in the morning, and later in the afternoon I went to Van Ness Park. These are not only black ball players, but they're brown ball players, players from Cuba, players from Mexico, from the Caribbean. They were discriminated against because of their color, merely because of their color, not because of their ability, not because of their skills. And so when they were able to break into the major leagues, I think it really demonstrated the importance of persistence, the importance of hard work, of working together, and of not giving up. And I think all of these players represent that.
What we have here is an amazing exhibit. What you see along the walls here is a part of our photo collection here at Central Library. The other component of the exhibit that we're really excited to feature is the QR codes that's located along the panels. There's interviews, they can engage, it's interactive. It's a really unique feature at the school, and all you need is a phone to do it. It's a part of our history. It's American history. It was a dark time in history. However, these players in that organization shined a light where it wasn't shown. Our young people need to know about this history. Adults who aren't familiar with this history should know about it. And having it here at the library is a wonderful opportunity.
We hope that our young people will come out to not just see the exhibit, but come to the library. You know, this is an extraordinary resource in our community. I remember growing up in the Normandy, Vernon area. I went to Vermont Square. That was my library.
I come from a historically black college, and our motto is, I'll find a way or make one. These players and this organization exemplifies that. This exhibit is absolutely free. It's here at Central Library downtown. We're open 7 days a week. The public is welcome to join us and check it out. It's a magnificent exhibit that highlights the triumphs, the perseverance, and the sheer talent of these players.
The City of Los Angeles continues their celebration of African American Heritage Month with a special live event featuring renowned activist artist Betty Saar at the Pico House in El Pueblo. The evening will include a screening of a new documentary on Saar, Ready to Be a Warrior, and a Q&A with the artist afterward. Still creating well into her 90s, Saar is known for her contributions to the Black arts movement in the 1970s, taking on myths and stereotypes about race and femininity. Her work challenges ideas of African Americans with artwork that confronts American racism. See Betty Saar, Ready to Be a Warrior at the historic Pico House, February 16th at 6 p.m. Admission is free, however, an RSVP is required. Call 323-871-5801 to reserve your seat or log on to laeventrsvp.com. The Northridge Branch Library invites kids to write your own little golden biography book. Join Bite-Sized Histories as author Cherie L. Smith gives you her tips for writing nonfiction for young readers. Smith is an award-winning author of titles like What is the Civil Rights Movement and Who Were the Tuskegee Airmen? She'll help you turn your own tales into a little golden book-style bite-sized history of your own. Come with a tale to tell and a willingness to write, draw, and have some fun learning. Bite-Sized Histories with Cherie L. Smith happens at the Northridge Branch Library Saturday, February 18th at 1 p.m. For details, visit lapl.org/events. Don't miss the 6th Annual Black History Month Festival at the newly renovated Michelle and Barack Obama Sports Complex. Open Arms Food Pantry and Resource Center is proud to host this year's event, which will focus on health and wellness. Guest speakers will talk in depth on topics that affect the mind and body within the African American community. All in attendance will find plenty of resources available to improve individual lifestyle, with a special focus on increasing literature in the community. And of course, there'll be plenty of shopping, food, and entertainment. The 6th Annual LA Black History Month Festival happens from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday, February 19th. For more information, log on to culturela.org/event. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.